Yay! Okay, I nearly gave up on this sprint, if I'm being honest with you guys. Sorry for being late. It's 10 minutes past 5, and that is pretty late, considering the fact that this was meant to start at 5. The issue was I was trying to go live on my channel through my Safari browser, and it just wouldn't allow me. I tried like 4 or 5 times until I decided, okay, let me just move over to Chrome. When I went on Chrome, the issue there is that none of my passwords are saved, so I had to go figure out what my password is, and hence we are about 10 minutes late. I do apologize for that. Anyway, happy Friday and welcome to yet another sprint. I'm excited today. I'm in a great mood. I tried my best not to be late, and funny enough, we all know how it all goes. Actually, plan something, and that's exactly when things will not go your way. So, that said, I'm glad I'm here, and I'm hoping that people will join in. I hope they didn't stick around, wait around, and then thought that this was not happening. I did say it was happening over on my Instagram, but hopefully people will come in like I'm saying. So let's start with the proceedings of the day. Let me just change my chat option so that I can see the live chats. Let me just indicate here in case people come in. So as always, I always try to show you if I've gotten any new reads during the week. So this is the book that I got. I got approached by the author to read this book. Excuse me, guys, that's disgusting. Sorry. So I got approached by Bridget McNatley to receive her book, The Grief Handbook, a guide through the worst days of your life. If you guys don't know much about me, you might not know, but I lost my mom to cancer at the end of 2017. And the thing is with grief, right? It's one of those things that can be triggered by just about anything. So when she did approach me, I was just enticed by the title of her book, and I knew that I would never say no to anything that helps me to navigate that part of myself, which is a large part of who you are. I think if you lose your mom, it is one of the biggest things that could happen to you in any lifetime. And currently people are going through the most with the loss that they're experiencing during the season of everybody's life. And every single day, all you see is RIP, RIP, and even those things can be triggers. So when Bridget approached me, I was very glad to receive a copy of her book. From what I understand about this book, it is a handbook that helps you to note down different things as you learn them. I've never been good with these kind of things, but I am happy to be holding one in my hand. And I was even saying to my siblings that if I find it of any value, I will definitely highlight it to them and see if they would want to use it. So that's the book that I got this week. And the packaging was so sweet, literally sweet. There was a Lindt chocolate that I butchered yesterday. I couldn't wait for the live. And then there was some tea in this hand thing that's written, here's a little slice of joy. And this is a chamomile flowers tea from Woolies, their infusion stuff, which is what I've put over here. So that will be a part of my snacking tonight as we read. And she sent through some origami. I want to say this is a phoenix of sorts. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is, which is very cute. I think this is very, very cute. And then it also came with this postcard where she wrote a little message at the back, and the actual card says, you can do amazing things. I absolutely loved the thought that was put behind this. I absolutely loved it. I did do a little video for my TikTok. I'm not too happy with it, but I think I'm going to end up using it anyway because I just couldn't do anything better with it at the time. And since I've had the chocolates, then it is what it is. And today, like I'm saying, my snack is the tea. It's pretty cold in Joburg. I'm just letting it brew. It is very hot. I thought I'd try out these new Pringles. When I saw them, this one is it says it's the part of their passport flavors. This one is the Italian style black pepper and parmesan. So it should be nice. That combination is always one to have. And then I picked myself up a slab of chocolate. If you know anything about me, you'll know that I'm nuts about nuts. So any chocolate that has any form of nuts, and this one is their cashew and coconut. I absolutely love this one. Then today, during the week, Honey Pie, I did not read anything. I'm still in that phase of things. I have so many books open that I'm thinking I'm going to do a vlog this weekend so that I can just push myself to close some of these books, because it's just not something that works well with me, especially if it's a stop and start situation, because it gives me a lot of anxiety to have too many books. I can have 2 or 3, but it can't be a lot of books open at the same time. And currently that is my story, and I am not trying to gel with that story at all. So I want to be able to close at least 2 of the books that I have open at the moment. So that's what's going on with me. I didn't finish all the books that I have open, or any book actually for that matter, last week, but I did read a bit of the Old Drift, and then I just started, which is what I'm going to read today, Go Tell the Sun by Botswana author Wame Molefhe. I want to say that's how you say her name. It's a collection of short stories. We are reading it for the Azania Bookclub. It is the pick for July. So that's what I'll be reading tonight. It's the first story that I started. It sounds it's very easy to read. It flows easily. She definitely has a talent. Wame, I don't know if I see she's written children's short story collection before, and this is her first adult short story collection, and so far so good, like I'm saying, and it's quite short, and it's not written in small font, so it is something that one could probably bash through during the weekend. It is, if you are interested, it is all of 119 pages long, and I think when I did look, there were 12 or 11 stories, I'm not sure, but I think it's more than 10. It's 10 on the dot. There are 10 stories on here. And if there are 10 stories and it's about 110 pages, you can just determine just on average how long those stories are. So that's what I'll be doing today. That's the book I've picked. What are you guys reading? How was your reading week? Hopefully you had a better reading week than me. And hopefully you poured yourself a warm drink, some wine if you've got wine, something to drink, something to snack on during this sprint today. And yeah, just let me know how your reading week was and what book you are going to be picking up today for your sprint. Hi, Ompile. So Ompile, or Bookamaso Book Club, says, she says, I keep being late each Friday, but I'm here. We were late today. I was explaining at the beginning how Safari was showing me flames and wouldn't let me go live. And I tried like 5 times until I figured, let me just go on Chrome, and then remembered that I don't remember my password. So it took a while, but we started the sprint at 10 past. So you were not late. Trust me, you were not late at all. Clapback Studies SA. Hi. Ompile says, is that book available at local bookstores? I read from Wame Molefhe a couple of months ago. So what we did is that I want to say Mujaji was selling it. I could be wrong. But now I think she owns the rights to her own book, so they don't publish it for her anymore. Anyway, we went the full whatever yards you want to call it, and we contacted her. And the copies that she sold us, she said, were the last copies that she had. And though I saw that, I think it's recently gone up on Amazon as an ebook. So there is that option, but as far as I know, it's not an easy one to get a hold of. And as a result, we didn't even have enough copies. My sister is in the same book club as me, so we are sharing a copy, which is why I need to finish mine ASAP so that I can give it to her as well. So I don't know if she has plans to reprint or get the physical copies out there somewhere soon. But like I'm saying, what I've tasted of the first story so far, it's quite worth putting out there again, but we'll see what plans she's got. So I don't know for sure if I can say it is available or not. But like I'm saying, I know for sure that she's got an ebook that you guys can grab if you struggle. Ompile says she's going to start So Longer Later from scratch. LOL, I feel like I read it too quickly. Oh, that book is so precious. And thank you for having lent me your copy. I eventually actually bought my own copy because I felt like it was one that I wanted on my shelf. And Molefhe, funny enough, is the one who spotted the secondhand copy that I eventually got. So she helped me a lot. So thank you very much to both of you for lending me and for finding that copy. Hopefully you enjoyed this time around and you do take your time. It is quite a beautiful, beautiful read. Samole says, hi, I'm starting a new book, LOL, A Stranger's Pose by Emmanuel Edina, a Cassava Republic title. I've never read from Cassava Republic. Have you read any of their other books, Samole? And just let us know how you found them and what this specific one is about, A Stranger's Pose. Sounds like something that would do with photography or something of that nature, but I could be wrong. And where is Emmanuel Edina from as well? So yeah, so this is what I'll be reading. And if you haven't started it yet, Samole, I don't think you need to worry. It actually does read quite easily, like I was saying. So it will probably be one of those, if you dedicate a night or two, you'll be done with it. Okay, so I think the time now is 20 past. At half past, or maybe very soon actually, we can start. I just want to get comfortable, get a little bit more warm. I am feeling cold today, but not as cold as I was feeling yesterday, so it's not as bad, but it is quite cold. I did have one more thing I needed to finish off for work. So I've got my work laptop here. That's what I'm going to do at the start of our first sprint. Our sprints are going to go for 20 minutes. We're going to do 20-minute sprints and then call it a night. I don't want to make my lives, these sprints too long. However, if there comes a Friday where I can get my kids to be quiet for longer, which is my main issue with trying to make their lives long, because I would have loved to have longer sprints, don't get me wrong, but I do think that I would be testing my kids' patience with me, so I don't want to do that. But should you guys wish or want to propose that maybe, let's say, once a month we have a sprint that's a little bit longer, do feel free to do that. Otherwise, if you haven't yet shared what it is that you'll be reading, please do share in the comment sections down. In the comment section down below. And I'm going to start my timer. I always use my clock. And like I'm saying, it's going to be 20 minutes. And the first sprint is going to start now. So the 20 minutes is starting. I'm going to mute myself as always. Okay, the first 20 minutes is up. How did that first 20 minutes go for you guys? Hi, I'm Array. Simone says, A Stranger's Pose is a travel memoir, I think. Sarah paired it with Vagabond by, Lerado for her book club this month. Oh, wow. Okay. That should be interesting. Which continent is the author traveling? Is it Africa as well, or is it somewhere else? Okay, how did the first reading sprint go? If you guys saw, I was disrupted a few times by my daughter. My daughter is not heeding these meetings anymore. She really doesn't care for it anymore. So I'm glad that I figured I should put stuff on mute because it's rough, guys. It's really rough. I am enjoying this. I do think that it is going to be one of those collections that has a very moral, how do I put it? Like it's gonna question your morality here and there, and the first story definitely does do that. So I enjoy those because I really do believe that people are not as linear as they think they are. That sometimes morality is dependent on situations, and though we like to think that we are morally upstanding when certain scenarios are painted for us, what we choose in those scenarios is very circumstantial and not really cut clear cut in the sense that you wouldn't take one situation and apply it to the next. And the duality of humanity is something that really does fascinate me personally. And I like stories that scratch at that, if you get what I'm trying to say. So the first one definitely did do that. As the alarm went, I was starting the second one. So yeah. And like I'm saying, it's quite easy reading, really. I should be able to finish. I would be so grateful. I would be so happy to finish a book because I haven't finished a book since homegoing. Okay. I think I should be able to finish this one this weekend. So I will definitely start vlogging. I won't vlog from tonight though, because it's movie night with the kids. So there's nothing there that I can share. So from tomorrow morning, I'll start sharing on what it is that I'm doing with my reading. So how did the first round go? Emma says, I made a coffee, but I will be reading Ruby Fruit Jungle by Rita Mae Brown about halfway through, and it is very good. Oh, okay. Okay, I've never heard of that one actually. And I like these recommendations. Let me just jot down um, some of the stuff that's coming through. Just tell us a little bit about that one, Emma, about the book you're reading, Ruby Fruit. Okay. So I think because of the time factor, I want to start round two now. If we started now, it should end around about say 10 past 6. So we'll have room for the third one. I always like to do at least 3 sprints during these lives. So I'm about to start the second sprint now. Okay, so that's the end of our second sprint. Um, Emma Ray says, let's see, what were you reading again? She's reading Ruby Fruit Jungle by Rita Mae Brown. She says it's good. I would recommend it for sure. It's about a girl growing up in Florida, USA in the 50s, I believe. She is strong-willed and is going to do what she wants to do and is also learning about her sexuality as a lesbian and what that means and how people then treat her. It's very well written and the main character is great. Oh, that sounds very nice. And I like this I think I mentioned it a few weeks ago that the queer literature that I've been coming across, I really like it and it's put me in a interesting how do you call it? Like I'm more interested in queer literature than I've been before, and I want to see more of the Black queer literature um, as possible. But I've been looking at what's the name of the series? Heartstopper. Is it Heartstopper? That's been doing the rounds, and people have been saying great things about it. So I'm quite interested in that one as well. Somali says Emmanuel is Nigerian. He's traveled Africa, so far West Africa. Okay, so that's the travel memoir that she's reading. So the author travels Africa, mainly West Africa. Karen says LGBT books. That's the thing. I'm absolutely loving them. A says African American romance books. Okay. That's great, guys. How did the second sprint go? For me, it went very well. I'm kind of I hardly ever see authors in short story collections using how do I put it? Using the same character names, right? Or a name of a particular character in a different story that has nothing to do with that character, if you get what I'm trying to say. So that second story was a little bit confusing to start with for me. And obviously, as you read, you realize it's not the same character. I don't know if she did that on purpose or what, but it did have a little bit of a moment for me. But so far, I'm happy with the way that Wame writes, and I think that her messaging and her themes are very well intertwined, and you can see what she's doing with the story, but it's not so blatantly obvious. This thing says my connection is unstable, so I don't know if I'm losing you guys or not. But if I am, can somebody say something in the comment section? But I hope I'm not. I don't know what's going on with my technology today, but I'm just hoping that it's not what I think it is. MRA says I have as well. This one is very good. I'm reading slower because I am annotating it. And that's what happens. Hey, when you write notes or when you annotate, like when you write, because I write notes on a book, but I did get myself more of these stickers because I decided to color code them for my own understanding, but I can't stick these on this one because like I'm saying, I'm sharing this copy with my sister, so I don't want her to stop where I stopped or be interested in what I was interested in, because I feel like reading needs to be a very personal and interactive process. So I never annotate books that are not going to stay in my library for my own consumption. But it does slow you down, that process. But I think that it helps with the comprehension of what it is that you're consuming and being more critical in what you're reading. My friend read it before and annotated it, so I'm reading it, and my and my friends know this is exactly what I was just saying. It's a fun reading experience. Okay, that should be interesting though. I've never been one to want to know what another person thought of the book as I was reading it, but I don't know how I would feel if I did do that. So that should be very interesting. Uh, she said she read 8 pages during the sprint with lots of annotations. That's great. I'm not a fast reader. I think so far I'm on page 32. Like I'm saying, this is an easy book to read. I think when we started, I was on page 18. I was on page 18 when we started. So now I'm on page 32. So that's about 14 pages. And I've had, let's say, one and a bit sprint because the first sprint I was still finishing off some work. But this is only because this read is easier. Last week, I realized that during the sprints with the old drift, my reading was not as quick as it is with this now. Uh, Okay, thank God, because it's still saying your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. So I'm hoping this live will be saved and I'm hoping everything will go well. I'm glad to know that I'm still here. Um, so this one book that you were asking about is Go Tell the Sun. So I've read the first book. It's a collection of short stories. Sorry, I've read the first story, which was Who Do You Tell? And the second one that I'm reading, funny enough, also has LGBTQ elements to it. It's Setunya Likes Girls Better. That's the name of the second story. So that's the story that I'm reading. I am left with 1.5 pages of that story. So they are quite quick, her stories, and they're quite easy to follow. I like that. Um, so Ompile says her connection also keeps buffering all the time. Don't worry, it comes and goes. Okay, it goes and comes back. So okay. Memory says we are doing it for videos for our YouTube channels. Oh wow, okay. I'll look out for that because like I'm saying, I like the themes, so I will be checking it out. We're making it a study about how each other okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. How you guys annotate and general book discussions. That is very interesting. Peter says, I love those stickers. I should get for myself. Saw how you have yes, you've got my copy of Transcendent Kingdom. Yes, girl. Yes, do get them. And I like these ones because they're quite affordable. I'm not sure how many are on here, but I've seen these at Checkers. At Checkers, they go for about, I want to say $10, right? For the pack. It's not a lot of stickies if you are a person who reads a lot of books at a time. But if you're a person who reads one book, etc., this should probably last you for maybe let's say 2 books at the most if you're somebody who really takes down notes. But these ones I bought at PNA. At PNA they're about 3 rand more expensive, so they're 13 rand at PNA. But I absolutely love them, and I think that 5 colors is enough for you to have a little system going for yourself. So I like that about them. um they definitely are. Yes, so I also just ended up buying a lot the last time I was there because I always run out at the worst possible time. And I'm like, no, how do I annotate half a book and then the other half is not annotated? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay, let's start our final sprint. And then we'll have a little bit of a chat at the end as well. Hi, Charity. Sorry. Oh no, you only got home now. And it is the end of our sprint. Sorry, guys. These are usually 1.5 hours. We were also late today. We started at 5:10. You guys should let me know, but I don't think it will be able to. I won't be able to do it actually. Never mind. I was gonna say you should let me know if you want me to start these later. I really won't be able to. And like I said, maybe on occasion, maybe once a month, we can make them a little bit longer. But I don't have control of my own life. My life is literally controlled by my kids, and keeping them here keeping them apart from me on a Friday for longer than an hour and a half is a big ask on my side as well. But every Friday, 5 to 6, our time. That is the deal. And Charity, you do have others during the weekend. I know that last weekend you had it on a Saturday, so I don't know if this weekend it will be a Saturday as well or a Sunday. I don't know if anybody else does sprints on here. I know Ompile doesn't do them yet. I don't know if she will do them in the future. I don't know about you, Emery, if you do sprints on your channel or not, but maybe we can just find a way to plug into each other's sprints throughout the week as well. I'm really enjoying this book, and I think of the 3 stories that I managed to read during the sprint, let me see how much of the story is still left. I'm left with about 4 pages of the 3rd story. It is my favorite so far. Absolutely love how it's going. So I had a great time actually today. I think the first 2 sprints that we did do, I was very flustered. You might find it's actually the coffee, because I did have chamomile coffee. I feel like I was very flustered even in my reading, but today it was a whole lot more relaxed and a whole lot more interesting. So I'm almost to the halfway mark of this book. That's how tiny it is. Because when I finish the story, I'll be on page 48, and it is 110 pages long. So it's not that big a book. Otherwise, I wish you guys a great reading weekend. Emma says, I have once just haven't had time. I have once just haven't had time to do them again. I do want to start doing them though. Okay, so you let us know when you do them, and then when you think you would, or like the ideal day would be for you to do those, and we'll definitely hop on there if we can. And like I'm saying, I'm sure Charity is gonna announce on her Instagram when her next one will be this weekend, if she'll be having one. And as for me, until next week Friday for another sprint, do enjoy your reading weekend, and thank you so very much for joining me once again. I hope this was useful and valuable to you, and yeah, see you next Friday.